So in this session, what we will do is, this is our intra as a code, right? So using Azure DevOps Pipeline, we have to call this specific code. Okay. So how exactly it will happen is Azure DevOps Pipeline will call this particular code, and it will install into our Azure cloud. Okay. So let us start it out. So in order to the prerequisite for this bit is we should have our own Azure DevOps access, as well as Azure cloud account. You should have it. Okay. So what I am doing here is I have created a one intra folder. Okay. Intra repo. Okay. If you wanted to create a new repo, you should be able to do it. Click on here and just say new repository. And if you could see, I will say today date is 17th June, right? I'll say 17th June. Okay. And I'll say I'll create it. So once you create this bit, so you can click on setup build. Okay. So once you click on that, Azure gives us these two options. That is one starter pipeline as well as existing. So whichever YAML file you wanted to use in order to create our Azure DevOps pipeline, that is the two option it is currently giving it. Okay. So if you wanted to click on the show more, right, you can see many of the options available over here. This is a boiler template. Okay. So Azure, what it does is it's a predefined configuration or Azure pipeline. It will there is a template is present. If you select whichever relevant to you, but it will go and create a Azure DevOps dummy pipeline for you. Okay. So as of now, let me choose a starter pipeline. Okay. So if you see here, what it is doing here is it is just adding a pool image. Okay. And it is just printing two script bit. It is executing it. Okay. So let us click save and run so that it let it go and run this particular pipeline. So if you see, you are able to see our pipeline is running now. So run a one line script. So if I go and check it out, if I duplicate my tab, let me open the code as well. If in the first line number 13, right, what we have written here is we have just set a echo hello world. Okay. This particular step name we have given it as a display name as a run one line script. So if you see run one line script, and at the top also you can see the step name. Okay. What we are told is to print hello world. That is a echo bit. Okay. That is what it has been printed over here. Okay. And in the second step, what we are doing is two echo statement we have written it. We, in the sense, our Azure itself has given to us, right? This bit. So once you if you go back to here, and the name what we are given here is run a multi-line script. Okay. If you click on here, you could be able to see these two echo statement. It is printed over here. It has ran over there. These two, line number 17 and 18. So now so let us convert it to include our Azure pipeline. Okay, our Terraform code as well. Okay, in the last week session, we have learned how exactly to write a Terraform code, right? So in this particular session, what we will do here is first we will try to integrate with the Terraform. Okay, so how exactly you do it is, let us go to our code. Let us clone this particular code. Okay, our laptop. Okay, I will back here. Clone. You do ls, only one file is present. All this bit. So if you see, only this YAML file exists. Okay. So now what we will do is we need to create a Terraform code. So what we will do is using our create one folder called as a Terraform. Okay. Inside this, we will create a one main.tf. Okay. So in this main.pf, let us create a one resource group. We say source group Terraform. If I go here, copy this code, put it over here. Okay, I'll say paste it, same thing, right? So I will pick the name. I'll paste it over here, 17 June, say RJ. Okay. This is the specific Terraform code we have written it. Okay. So we will do a just integration with Azure DevOps. Okay, that we will learn it, and then as a second iteration, we will do integration with EKS cluster as well as KV. Those Terraform code we will run it from here. Okay, so back here we have written one Azure resource group. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to execute this piece of a resource group on a Azure cloud. Okay, so for that, what we need to do? So go back to the repo. A little in order to fast track our work, so I have pre-coded it. Okay, so what will paste the a stage configuration. Okay, this same thing here. So here what we are doing is the same two script, right? We are keeping it under stages. Okay, stages Terraform we are giving it build RJ with Terraform. Okay, the job name we given it as a build. Let's say build a resource. Okay, so as of now we are printing the same old details. Okay, so let us commit this code and then push it to our repo. Okay, code has been put. Let me here. I have triggered it. Okay, so if you see, it is automatically triggered. Okay, so how it is triggered automatically? It is because of this. But trigger is I'm on the main branch. So any commit to this particular branch, automatically it will trigger a pipeline. Okay, so this is the piece of a code which has been written over. Okay, so I will say none, so that I on my request basis pipeline has to be triggered rather than automatically. I have I made the change now. Okay, so our whatever the pipeline we have coded, right now it looks fine. Okay, so we are able to run it. So as a next step, right, what we need to do, what we will be doing is the configuration, the task which is required to run the Terraform, right, that bit we will be installing it over here. Okay, that those all the bit we will be copying it over here. Okay, so for that what you can do is just open a Google browser. Okay, just type Terraform Azure Pipeline YAML. You go to our if you go to the Microsoft documentation, you can refer the other bit as well if you find it is useful. but usually I go for the trusted website. In this case, it's a Microsoft, right? So I will click on that. Okay, so here all the same configuration, what all the things it has to be done, right? The same thing it has been explained over here. Okay, so what I'm interested is the running the same thing via YAML file. Okay, I'll copy this bit. I will knock it off these two things. We require any more. So if you see this is our task, what we are using it. Okay, this is our Terraform installation code. Okay, this is developed by some other guy. Okay, so that particular module we are using it. What it does is it installs a Terraform on our agent. Okay, so we need to mention Terraform version name. Okay, so current I think latest version of Terraform, say version, I see 1.5.0 is the latest version. Okay, so I'll copy the same 1.5, keep it here. Okay, so if you see here, this bit we have added it, so it will install a Terraform on our agent. So the next bit is we need to run our Terraform init command. For that, copy paste it, same code. Okay, so here we are running the first command in Terraform. If you remember, it is a Terraform init. Okay, so the task is this Terraform CLI. Okay, the command what we are giving here is at Terraform init. Working directory, it is basically where exactly your Terraform code resides. Okay, in our case, we have created a Terraform folder, and over there we have kept our main.tf. Okay, we'll copy this, we'll mention it here. Okay, so this is Terraform install and then Terraform init. Okay, let us go and check it out. Okay, so run this bit, how exactly it runs. Okay, git add, git commit, git push. Okay, so let us go and run this bit. If you see, since we have made it as a none, trigger is none, it is not triggered it. Okay, so we need to run it. Let's run this bit. After half an hour, at roughly around 1 o'clock, we have a session, interactive session. If you have any questions, right, you should be able to ask us. So if you see here, it has checked out, install the Terraform, then run a Terraform init. Okay, and then what it has done is it has installed the code, installed the Terraform on the agent, run the Terraform init. It is successfully it has initialized it. So the now next bit is Terraform validate. Okay, so what validate does is it checks your syntaxes in the Terraform. Okay, is it proper or not? If there are any issues, it will highlight it. Okay, my working directory, I'm just hard coding it. Okay, if you require further information about Terraform and all those stuff, right? I'm happy to put a comment on any of our video. I should be able to do a complete in-depth sessions on the Terraform. The Terraform validate. As a next step is the Terraform plan. Okay, okay, this bit. So same working directory. Here we are not using any location, we are not overriding it, so we don't need it. So I have knocked it off. Okay, so if you see here, it is expecting a service connection. Okay, so this particular service connection is there, right? It is a linkage between our Azure DevOps to our Azure cloud. Okay, this is the authentication and authorization mechanism. How exactly you do it? Okay. For that, we need to go to Azure DevOps. So let us go here. You need to click on project settings. Okay. Then come here, service connection, create a service connection. In this case, we are using a Azure Resource Manager. Select that. Click on next. We'll be going for a automatic service principal creation. If you wanted to have other bit, you are uh, most welcome to choose that bit. But automatic is the one which Azure handles it up and it creates a service principal. So for a demo purpose, it makes sense to use the same thing. Okay, it has selected our beginner academy. Okay, so resource group, we don't want to use any resource group. Okay, so for the service connection name, I will give the same as our suspect base date. Yeah, say June. I'll say SC. C stand for a service connection. Okay, so I won't check this bit. Okay, let it ask for a permission, then I will give it. It will take couple of seconds in order to create this all, because it has to, in the background under the hood, it has to go and create a service principal, and then it has to create a service connection. In a nutshell, service connection is a bridge between our Azure DevOps and the Azure cloud. Okay, whatever the things we ask in pipeline, we write it, right? Using this service connection, it will go and create the resources in our Azure cloud. Okay, so it has been created. Let us copy this bit. Let us go back here. I'm just hard coding it. Okay, you have mentioned the newly created service connect. So now let us push this code over repository. Yeah, our code, it has been pushed. Now we'll come back to our pipeline. We will run it. Let us see now what exactly it does. So if you see here, the pipeline needs a permission to access a resource before this run can continue. It's basically, it is asking for a permission to approve this pipeline, whatever the pipeline we have created, to access this particular service connection. It is a per pipeline. First time it will ask this access permission. Okay, so we will permit it. Okay, so now it will progress further. Okay, yeah, let us give it for a couple of seconds. Terraform validate was also successful. Okay, configuration is valid. Terraform plan it failed. Okay, so why the plan failed is it doesn't have a features block. Okay, so only we have kept our side our code, right? Only we have a main.tf. We don't have providers. Okay, so let us create a providers. Providers.tf. Okay, so Azure provider details, how you can get it, just Google it out. Provider Terraform. You go here, this is the piece of a bit it is expecting. Second, sorry guys. Let us copy this code, put it over here. Okay, now we'll check in. Okay. In order to check it out, what all has been modified, our provider has been modified. So let us add it. Okay, so once it has been pushed, let us go here, pipeline, let us go and rerun it. Okay, so now hopefully without any error, it should be able to tell us our Terraform plan, what exactly it is supposed to create it. If you see here, the same code, which is basically a Terraform Azure resource group. That is what we are trying to create it. Plan 1 to add and 0 to change, 0 to destroy. Our resource group, it is trying to add it. This is the plan. Okay. In this way, we have run the Terraform plan using Azure DevOps. Okay. So now as a next step, what we wanted to do is we need to apply this code. Okay. As you know, in the previous session, Terraform plan is a dry run. Okay. It won't actually go and create it. Okay. Terraform apply is the one. Okay. So let us go and copy the same one. So here only the change is instead of plan, we will say apply. Okay. So plan, let it be there. Okay. So apply is this bit. Okay. So think that you wanted to add a manual validation before running the apply. Okay. How exactly you do it? It's basically just let pipeline and just to say manual validation. Okay. So manual validation. But okay. So is code it has been written. Okay. Copy this bit. Okay. Before apply, right, let us validate it. Okay. So for that, what do we job already has to be mapped. Fine. It has to be pushed ahead. If you see here, this job and this job on the same line. Okay. So we'll say uh, check for a Terraform plan. Say manual validation. Okay. So validate minutes. Okay. Right. 20 minutes. Okay. Let it wait for a 20 minutes. Time mode is also 20 minutes. Okay. If you wanted to notify someone, you can add those mail IDs. Okay. So I will say, please validate the Terraform plan, and if happy or okay, then resume. Okay. So this is what we are given it. Okay. So what it will do is it will just wait for a validation. So once you are happy, right, I will say I don't timeout. I don't want to run anything on the timeout. Okay. So this is basically a validation. Okay. So once you are happy, then only we will go to the next level. Okay. That is doing a Terraform apply. Okay. So for that Terraform apply, we need another job. For that, what we will do is paste it, add our apply. Okay, here Terraform apply. Okay, now it will show in a proper train track kind of a thing, train bogies. Okay, we'll see how it shows us. Commit, hit push. Let us go to our pipeline again. You go here, click on here. So if you wanted to see how many stages are there, and you need to run it once, then thereafter it click on run. You could see it has 3 jobs. Ideally, it should have waited. Both are running in parallelly. Okay, that ideally we don't want to run. Okay, so Terraform apply. Both these jobs it has runs at the parallelly. We don't want that. Okay, so we wanted it to be separated by different stages. Okay, so I will change to, I will add another stage here. Let's go and add jobs stage. Stage name, what we will say is validation. Okay, validation of Terraform plan. Okay, so the next job, what we will be running, the apply. Okay, it apply. Okay, name what I will give here is Terraform apply. Okay, so now we have segregated the things. Okay, Terraform plan, it will happen on the first stage. Second stage is the validation. Third stage is the apply. Okay, so let us go back here. Apply also it has ran parallelly. Obviously it is fail. Check this. Inconsistent. There was a lock. Okay. So now what will happen is once this stage has been done, then only it will go to you. Okay, because it has a cyclic dependency. Once this is approved, then only it will go to Terraform apply. Okay, so let us run this bit. Git add, git commit, git push. Okay, so let us rerun it. Stages. Now if you could see, there are 3 stages are there, right? So now currently if it is only one bogie of our train, right? Now we have told there are 3 bogies. One bogie is to a Terraform plan, then validation of a Terraform plan, then the Terraform plan apply. Okay, so let us go back and let's run this. So if you see here, this is a train bogies. Okay, so once plan happens, then validation. If if you ask them to proceed further, then only it will go to the next one. That is apply. If you reject it over here, it won't go to further. Okay, it's kind of a validation. Okay, so plan has been done. You could see in plan it says one to add. Okay, so if you see here, go back here, it asks us a review. Okay, you can click here, or if you click here, the one and the same. Okay, if I click here review, it says please check for a Terraform plan. Okay, so instruction is please validate your Terraform plan, and if you are okay, then resume. If you are not okay, then click on reject. If you do reject, right, gone. Our next bit won't be executed. you see here, the next Terraform apply has been skipped. Reason is you have rejected it. So the manual validation, why you rejected it, there can be Terraform plan was doing something significantly wrong. It is trying to delete it out, right? So in that cases, what you could do is you can go and revisit this bit. Okay, so I will again rerun it, run new, run. So again it will start off the process. Okay, think that accidentally you have rejected it, right? So that is what if it has happened. So you can rerun your pipeline. So let me open up my portal as well, so that I action resource group, right? We have only 2 resource. Okay, so plan is successful. Come back to here. Now in this case we are happy. Our Terraform plan this looks okay for me. Okay, so then that is the reason we will say resume. It will now go to the next Terraform apply. We'll see if there are any issues here. Here run Terraform plan. Inconsistent dependency lock. Okay. Here there is a one problem. Two tasks as well, because the job is running on a different agents. Okay, that is the reason installation also we need to do it, and Terraform init also we need to do. Let us run this and commit git push. Okay, let us run it again and wait for a couple of seconds. Okay, our plan is successful. Go to review here, click on resume. Let us wait for here. Hopefully now it should be able to create our resource. That is our here the name I have not rectified it, so probably I will reply it here. Terraform apply. So if you see here our Terraform apply, it has been done. Okay, so it says plan to add. Okay, apply complete, it says 1 is added. Okay, this one. So let us go and check it out here. If I do a refresh here, if you see, of 17th June RJ, it has been added. So environment is production. Okay, so now we are able to successfully run our pipeline using our Azure DevOps. Okay, using Azure DevOps and calling a Terraform, which will create a resources in Azure cloud. Okay, all the 3 things we were able to achieve it. Okay, so now as a next step, so what we will do is the code which we have written it in the past, right? That bit in the last week session, right? So that we will call it now. Okay, once now we are able to run it, right? So what we will do here is I will go to 10th June. I'll pick AKS dev.name. Okay, backup here. This is our ACR. Let me close all the bit. Okay, what I will do is copy everything, whatever it has been coded, paste it in here. Okay, there are two providers are there. So one, delete off. I will delete the old provider. For it. Okay, it got deleted, and I will give a meaningful name. Okay, so this one is our ACR, right? ACR. We should give a meaningful name, ACR. Okay, so if you see here, ACR code, fine for us. Next is EKS code. This also looks fine for us. dev.tf file, RG name, we are giving it. Variable file, we'll see. We can use it this class or not. So the next bit is our secret name. The ECR secret we are pushing it here. And then .tf, what we are creating it. This one we don't, we have already created it. We delete it off. Okay. In the provider.tf looks fine. Okay. So we will go one by one. What exactly we'll be doing it, the alphabetical order. Okay, ACR. So what we are doing here is we have created a resource group. Okay. So we will mention it as ACR. Okay. Then in the ACR we have created it. Then a scope map we have defined it. Then we have created a token. Okay. Then thereafter we have creating a EKS cluster. EKS cluster with the VM size as E2S and the node count as a 1. Okay. Then we are creating a KV as well, Azure Key Vault. Okay. For that, we are creating a easier username. That token we are referring it from our token resource, which we have created here. Okay. So that is on the KV. The provider is the same thing. Okay. So let us go and create this one via pipeline. Okay. So now our status, we'll see. Okay. These are all the new file has been added. Or deleted, modified. Okay. I will run, sorry, git added AKS, AV, mention it. Okay. Git push will do it. The code has been pushed it now. Okay. So now as a next step, what we need to do is we need to run our Terraform plan. We will run the pipeline, same pipeline. The pipeline code remains the same. Okay. It is only the extra resources we have added it. Okay. Compared to the last run. This run probably may take a little bit more time because it has to create Azure Key Vault, EKS cluster, ACR, right? Everything it has to be done via pipeline. We will see what it is, how much time it takes. Terraform plan itself taking of extra time. I go and see, says plan is 7 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. Okay. So it's not destroying anything, so we are happy with that. Okay, it is just creating it. Okay, let us review and resume it so that at least next level it will go. Okay, now what we will do is we will check our plan, what exactly it is doing it. The ACR, Azure Container Registry, it is creating it. We are fine with that. Then scope map it is adding. That's also we are fine with that. Then it is creating a token. In order to access, with this token, we will be able to access our Azure Container Registry. Right? Sorry guys, I have a bit of a cold and cough. Yeah. So next one is a Azure Key Vault, right? This also it will be created. Then thereafter, the secret, whatever the token it has been created over here, right? This particular token, the token value, it is getting stored in our Azure Key Vault. Okay. It may give us an error. I'm just thinking about it. Okay. The Key Vault doesn't have a access. Probably it may give us an error. We'll see. While adding, right, it should give us an error. That it will give an error. Key Vault, it has been created. Vault has been created. Actually, probably it is going to fail. We'll connect. See, same thing. Work. Not, it will give error. Okay, so run a Terraform up. Okay, so if I go here, right, so if you see, ACR is fine. Key Vault is also fine. It is adding a secret. That's also fine. It is creating a EKS cluster. That is also fine for us. So 7 to add. Okay, now let us see. If you see, right, Beginner Academy KV, it has been created for us. Okay, the secret, I am not authorized yet. So give me a problem. Okay, so let us go and check the other resources. The container registry, if you see, the container registry is also created. If I go back here, tokens, token is also created. Okay, superb. So if I go back and see Kubernetes, demo AKS1 is also getting created. Okay, if you see, it says creating. Go here, because it's already taken 2 minutes. Okay, so probably it may take further few seconds extra. Do just a refresh. I have a doubt on this creation of this token, because though I have given access now to the key vault, whether it will go and create it or not, we'll see that. Let me add myself to the get a proper access. I will type my Beginner Academy account. Create it. Okay. Secret it. Certificate it. Okay. We'll see whether it will be successful or not. Okay. Looks fine. Probably there will be one, it says 100%. Yeah, it failed for, yeah. If you see here, this is the key vault. I was expecting it because it don't have a authorization. Presence of a key vault, it says forbidden because the user, right? This user doesn't have a access. Let's go check it out. Did I give the right access for the service principal? Yeah, it is different. Okay, I've added it, but if I wanted to rerun, we'll see whether I would be able to rerun it. Rerun the failed jobs stage. I doubt it will be able to do it. Reason being is our Terraform state, right? It will make a mess. Currently, the Terraform state, we are not keeping it in a Azure cloud. Okay, so it will give us a problem. We'll see whether it recognize it still has the same state because it is on the, yeah, if you see it is trying to add the 7, it will give us a error. 7 to add, it says already resource already exists, because currently we are not maintaining the state in a Terraform in a storage account, right? That is the reason. This is what it is expected. Okay, so if you see the first one, right, so what it did was it created everything, all the resource, only the username it was unable to pick it from ACR, Azure Container Registry, and push it to our pick it from Azure Container Registry and unable to push to Azure Key Vault. Reason being was it did not had a authentication. 403 is forbidden. Okay, the user which Azure pipeline is using, that service connection doesn't have a access to Azure Key Vault, hence it failed. Okay, but out of 7 it did 6. Okay, that is should be a fairly good good thing. Yeah, so you see here our Kubernetes cluster is up and running. So how exactly you can connect it? Connect to this bit. Let me go and run this bit. Let me try to connect to this EKS cluster and we'll see it. Okay, I will take admin credentials. Just override it. Overridden. Okay, I'll say kubectl get pod. Nothing should be there. I will say node. Okay, this is our node. Say -o void all the details. We'll try to get it. Our agent IP address is this one. Okay, so let us go and check it out. Our VM scale set, VMSS. So if you go here and check our instances, this is our instance. Okay, so I put my IP address. This is the same IP address, meaning our we are successfully able to see our virtual machine scale set in Kubernetes. Our worker node is up and running. Okay, so now if you wanted to deploy anything, you should be able to deploy in this particular cluster. Okay, so I will just run command. Okay, we'll say pod, right? Pod thing. Let me see, is there any command? Okay, kubectl run demo h. Okay, if you see, the pod has been created. If I say git pod now, it is getting created. Container, it is getting created. If you see, our Nginx demo is in a running state. Okay, so what it means is our Kubernetes cluster is up and running. We were able to achieve this complete bit from start to end.